What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 4. And hopefully we won't have any technical issues today, but it's not looking too good. Anyway, this is the best of two. We have going between AlbumSheet and House of Gamers from Division 1. I'm Mike Loris. I also should have Grandis here, although everything seems to be breaking, and I am not responsible if everything does in fact break.
Okay, so hopefully it's not broken and we're into this game. If I'm actually speaking, the early bans, as well as the picks have come out from both sides, with Scarth Mage versus Void Razor and Brewmaster banned out in the...
Hello? No, it was so close. Okay, so, the call is dropping.
So...
Oh, wait, there we go. What's
Oh?
going on, man?
Okay, so hopefully Skype actually works with us. If it doesn't, I think worst case scenario, I'm going to leave it to Mike Loris to have a solo cast. And as terrible as that is, it's better than constantly battling to get Skype working. Puck and Earthshaker are the first two picks from House of Gamers.
Right, we actually have a draft, so hopefully we will be able to get all of that on the way. Let's move everything around so we could organize ourselves a little bit better. But here we go. AlbumSheet. Gonna open up with Tidehunter and a Death Prophet. It's an extremely brutal way of opening. And House of Gamers, well, I mean, they have good heroes for sure. Shaker, one of the best heroes you want to have on your team. A lot of stuns. And you know, having a long range stun is also going to be incredibly useful. Puck being picked up as well. But I don't know. I feel like right now House of Gamers are just kind of outclassed by AlbumSheet's picks.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Hopefully you can actually hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know. It's post-traumatic stress from yesterday. We're going to have Visage and Centaur banned out by AlbumSheet and Ancient Apparition Slark taken out by House of Gamers, and I think that's fair. Although Earthshaker and Puck are good heroes, they offer a lot of teamfight power. I think they do pale in comparison to Death Prophet and Tidehunter. And now with an Ogre Magi also on AlbumSheet's side, I don't know. I think their heroes are just all around a little bit more solid. Although if House of Gamers are able to connect with this big AoE team fight, it could be disastrous. A huge Dream Coil into an Echo Slam Static Storm Kinetic Field could be just a straight up team wipe.
Yeah, it's for sure possible, but that is going to be disrupted by potentially a Tidehunter Ravage. Best case for House of Gamers, or realistic case even, is that Disruptor gets a Static Storm, even if it's only on the Tidehunter. I'm pretty sure that's a win for House of Gamers. Like, they need to make sure that their team fight is not interrupted by a Ravage, else they're just going to get absolutely demolished. Death Prophet with a potential Yule Scepter can save herself a lot of that damage as well. Ogre Magi, probably not as many tools, but hey, if you have a Ravage and a Death Prophet, you're good to go. And House of Gamers, well, they're going to get the 4th pick, Necrophos, now. So I actually really like that we see this hero a lot more. The additional cooldown on that scythe is absolutely killer, and it looks like he will have quite a bit of support this game, with House of Gamers having all 4 heroes being ranged.
Yeah, definitely. And also just the ability, once you get Aghanim Scepter, to stop somebody from buying back in the late game can completely turn the game on its head, because for the next 2 minutes or so, you're fighting 4v5 at the very least, as long as you didn't get any other kills. And if it's on the enemy carry, or where most of the farm is from them, it can be absolutely disastrous. So I think Necrophos definitely deserves a spot, but I'm still kind of iffy as to how you should be playing this hero.
Yeah, it's a lot of flexibility as far as lanes, but at the same time, it's like, well, how do you optimize him? I'm not too sure about that. I've seen him in safe lanes. I've seen him solo mid. I think I like the item build of Rod of Atos the best, but there are a whole bunch of ways you could go with that. Whereas AlbumSheet, well, they're going to go for a Medusa, so a lot of survivability with this hero. And House of Gamers, even though they have lots of good utility, lots of incredible, support skills, they are actually kind of damage light. Like, even Necrophos, he can do a lot of damage later on, but for the early stages, Death Pulse isn't really too impressive. Puck does quite a bit, but he's also on the lower side of the damage spectrum, so I could see this Medusa getting a lot of free time just because House of Gamers don't have that much damage.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right now, the last ban, Anti-Mage, coming out from AlbumSheet would have been a decent pick for House of Gamers to help them have that damage, especially on a Medusa. The effective damage through Mana Break is pretty ridiculous, and House of Gamers should probably look to remedy that in their last pick. The Puck is presumably going towards the off lane, then they're looking towards either mid or safe lane, wherever Necrophos isn't.
Yeah, either way, it has to be someone who hits pretty hard. Ideally, it would be through right clicks, although it could just be that they're going to rely on their Necrophos, and then they're going to be playing a very spell-heavy lineup, which is fine. although it does make it so that crowd control effects hurt you, or silence effects hurt you that much more. And well, look at that. There's a silence on the other end with Death Prophet. That is going to actually be really bad for House of Gamers. Like, outside of the Ravage stuns and the Fire Blast, like, all that is bad too, but silence on two of these House of Gamers heroes, and they're absolutely 100% useless.
Yeah, definitely. As for album sheet, I'd love to see a Rubik up until now. I think that would probably be one of their better heroes. Not necessarily because he's just awesome as a support. Being able to steal some of these spells like Fissure especially is always nice utility, but I think that the null field would be able to get quite a lot of traction in this game because most of their damage on House of Gamers currently is magical, and even if they get a really heavy hitting 5th pick, I don't think it would be able to make up for the fact that all 4 of these heroes do very little to none physical damage.
Yeah, and even if they don't go for that null field Rubik, they could always just pipe up on a Tidehunter or something like that, and that'll get the job done, maybe to a lesser extent, maybe to a greater extent, who knows, but they need lots of magic resistance, BKBs and stuff, and House of Gamers, well, this Nyx Assassin isn't really going to change things. The red clicks of Nyx Assassin are not that threatening, despite the fact that he may be an agility hero. Don't get suckered into that, guys. It is a very spell-heavy lineup for House of Gamers. The more magic resistance and the more BKBs Album Sheet have, the better off they will be. Unfortunately for them, Medusa doesn't really like going up against that just because she doesn't like going for BKB. She doesn't like being mana burned by Nyx. But everyone else from Album Sheet, they should have a pretty clear plan ahead of them, and it's going to be Enigma. I think this could be punished from House of Gamers. Like, they could just play aggressive versus this Enigma, but having a hero that is going to get farm and therefore can buy a pipe or a mech is going to be huge for Album Sheet.
Yeah, definitely. Although House of Gamers do have the opening to punish it, I'm not sure with these supports they're going to be able to. As Earthshaker, as well as Disruptor, although they offer some nice utility, it seems that they're just going to be lacking the damage, especially at the early portions of the game in order to do so. That said, we'll just have to see how this game pans out on the Radiant side. It is House of Gamers heading towards the middle lane. It's SLHZ on the Puck, followed by Malum on the Necrophos, Slash Strike on the Earthshaker, leaving our Disruptor played by Moment, and Nyx Assassin played by Faith in Strangers.
I don't know exactly who that is. I think that might be someone different, although I haven't casted House of Gamers in quite a long time. On Album Sheet, we got No Fear, playing the Ogre Magi. Aloha Dance is going to be on the Medusa. Sunlight is going to be playing the Enigma. Chomi is on the Death Prophet, and then bottom lane, well, Tidehunter, he's going to be played by Afterlife, but we're going to see Initiation potentially into No Fear. They have a Fissure. They didn't want to use it. Yes, they do. They need another something. There's a Glimpse back, and now No Fear. I was actually going to dodge an Impale. That might be his survival. A nice 3-man silence is also going to help out. No Fear. I don't think he's tanky enough for this. He's going to try to turn around for a Fire Blast. Will get it off, but he's going to give his life beforehand. Really, that Glimpse, absolutely killer. And that's the power of Earthshaker and Disruptor. You get so much utility, but not that much damage, as we just saw.
Yeah. But when you have 5 heroes right-clicking into one, the damage definitely is there and was there. Even though they missed the Nyx Assassin Impale, it would have been a lot cleaner of a kill had they been able to line up all of their disables onto the one target. But even Ogre Magi, a generally tanky hero at level 1, isn't immune to a gank like that. So it's going to be a clean first blood going the way of House of Gamers. It is going to secure Tidehunter getting his early rune out, or ward out, excuse me, to spot rotations of these two supports, but the lanes are actually going to be a little bit different than I thought they would. It's going to be Faith in Strangers taking mid as the Nyx Assassin potentially. No, wait. What's going on? This is Slash Strike on the Earthshaker taking mid, offlane Puck, support Nyx, Disruptor, and Necrophos bottom.
Well, I mean, that's the flexibility of House of Gamers lineup right there, and the fact that, yeah, I guess Shaker, 9 times out of 10, you can assume that he's going to be played as a support. This time just isn't one of those games. I think this is okay for House of Gamers. It's going to give them a lot more physical damage, which, as we said before, is going to be one of their weaknesses in the draft. But versus the Death Prophet, I feel like they might just be doing this because they can. And I don't even know if they can. I mean, the Earthshaker Death Prophet matchup is not close for Slash Strike. Chomi should be walking all over this lane.
Yeah, definitely. The Fissure spam can get some CS for Slash Strike, but outside of that, he's just going to eat so much harass from the Crypt Swarms, and let alone the right clicks. Up and top, Puck should have a decent time. It's unlikely that an Ogre Medusa lane is going to do much to SLHC. He should be able to get his experience pretty much unimpeded, and every once in a while be able to get some farm. This Nyx Assassin, I think, is my biggest question mark. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get enough out of his support position. Up against Tidehunter, he is going to throw an Impale into him, and they do have a Glimpse, mind you, so maybe Afterlife is going to fall here. More than anything, it's just going to be some harass, and Afterlife is already heavily eaten through his regen.
And Tidehunter really can't do that much, even though there are not really high damage heroes on this side, there's a disruptor, and he's ranged enough so that he could keep himself, for the most part, out of that anchor smash range, while at the same time just constantly poking at that Tide. So I don't expect Tide to have a really great time. Puck is going to be like pseudo pressured by the threat of Ogre Magi coming in, but realistically he's not going to die. So Puck is going to be able to play this a little bit more aggressively. He's just going to, secure runes for now, but he's also opened up with boots first. So the chances of an Ogre right now killing off a Puck is extremely slim, and the Puck probably can't get any kills on the Ogre, so that's definitely going to be happening. But still, I think AlbumSheet should be okay with how this is going. Tidehunter getting shut down, not exactly is a sight that's not seen, and Chomi's just going to do so well in this mid lane, as he already is. 3-2 on the core Earthshaker. If this was a Puck or Necrophos, they could have been probably even at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And you also have an Enigma that's farming inside the jungle. It's been unimpeded. There are a couple of wards that are placed down by the Radiant, which will be annoying to him, but pretty much nothing. Fire Blast as well as Ignite landing up on top, but Puck's going to be fine. We'll just be forced to tango up a little bit. But still, even though the Tidehunter's not doing that well in bottom, it's still serviceable for Afterlife, and they have 3 other heroes that are farming across the map. Medusa's untouched, as is the Death Prophet. I think the biggest surprise for me is that Necrophos is not CSing very well at all.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. First of all, Necrophos kind of needs to CS well for Sadist if he wants to, spam out Death Pulse, which he hasn't started doing yet, but he will want to do that eventually. Also, he is going to be a highly prioritized hero for House of Gamers because Puck isn't getting Jack, Earthshaker isn't getting Jack, and if your Necrophos isn't getting anything either, well then, where is your farm? Where are your items going to come from? It's just not going to happen, so they need someone to take this farm. Right now, AlbumSheet, they have Medusa leading the way, Death Prophet not too far behind, and then the Enigma. The Tidehunter's not doing fantastically, but he really doesn't need to do well if everyone else on his team is doing this great. And now Malum actually has his Ring of Basilius turned on. They're going to try to push this. I think they might be able to zone out the Tidehunter even from under his tier 1 tower, and it looks like they will be able to, but still, if Tidehunter gets any support at all from a creep wave, he'll get a lot of experience, and these are not pushing heroes from House of Gamers, so I don't think this push is really going to work.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem that it is either. Even though they are zoning out the Tide, the tower's just not taking enough damage. I think one of the biggest issues for HOG, at least in the mid lane, is that it doesn't feel like Celesтрike is very comfortable with Earthshaker in the mid. I don't know. I think that's just... he's catching up decently well now. 10-4 is a lot better than what he had earlier on with 3-1 at about 2.5 minutes in. Once the bottle comes out, this mid lane gets a lot easier for him. But even so, Death Prophet's going to have pretty much a free time.
And the potential rotations in from the Disruptor and Nyx Assassin, they are potentially deadly, but you have to line up your skills pretty much perfectly, as in Fissure to block and Kinetic Field to block again, and then a Glimpse at max range, stuff like that. Outside of all those skills landing perfectly, they're probably not going to be able to kill off the Death Prophet, especially while she still has a haste rune in her bottle, so that's definitely not going to happen. But maybe when that runs out, then they'll have an opening. But I think for right now, they need to keep this Tidehunter down, otherwise Malum is just not going to have a great time. Even though level 5 hero versus level 4 hero generally is favorable, Tidehunter is going to get experience. And right now, House of Gamers are pretty much all in on the deny Tidehunter experience plan, which is fine for sure, but they're losing a lot. Like, they are suffering in their lanes.
Yeah, Puck is getting more than the Tidehunter, but can't put any pressure on the Medusa, who does opt for Midas at about 5 minutes in. It's really hard to resist that item, and Medusa uses it better than most. That extra attack speed does get quite a lot of value on a Medusa. And we are going to see an opening with the rotation of the Death Prophet onto poor Malum. He's gonna die. There's nothing about this that can save him. The ghosts are going to chase him down, as is the haste rune on Chomi.
Yeah, so that is going to be kill going to Chomi. That is only a level 1 exorcism being spent, which is not exactly the highest damaging skill, but when you have a haste rune, there is pretty much no chance that anyone is going to escape from that. So Chomi gets AlbumSheet on the board after losing the Ogre Magi previously, and he's going to be pretty happy about that pickup. He's not exactly like at full strength either, so getting any sort of pickup at this time for a Death Prophet is actually incredibly nice, because you ordinarily don't get those types of openings. I mean, maybe when you're level 10 you could do it, but not when you're only level 6. Like, Cryptstorm wasn't even maxed out.
Yeah, and for now, Chomi's going to be incredibly happy with how this is going. 37 CS, a kill to his name, and that's going to be phase boost completed, and whatever he decides to go for, it's going to be coming out fast. The Earthshaker left alone is going to be benefiting quite well because of that rotation, but it's definitely not worth giving up your safe lane carry. You currently is catching up in the CS, now 29 and 10 on Malum. But still, not doing incredibly well. Mana Burn's going to be thrown into Afterlife, but probably drains more mana from the Nyx's Death than it does from the Tide.
Yeah, so even though the Necrophos is getting a good bit of farm, he is still competing with the Medusa with Hand of Midas, and I don't think the Necrophos is getting enough farm to counteract that. Medusa is pretty much fighting 0 people in this lane. Occasionally the puck is going to throw out an orb like we see right now, but that's not really going to impact how Medusa plays out this lane. It's going to be, I think, a level 6 Nyx Assassin where House of Gamers really are going to have an opening, since Slash Strike, he's not going to be able to do much unless he gets a Blink Dagger, and I think the level 6 for Nyx should be happening before then. Attempt on the bottom lane, not going to result in anything. If they maybe get a Blink Dagger on Puck and Earthshaker, then that's really where House of Gamers are going to start, but for right now, they can't actually do anything with rotations until they get more levels. And this is just more and more time the AlbumSheet have to sit back and do whatever they want.
Yeah. I think the Medusa could have gotten away with a more passive farming build, maybe investing into stats instead of the Mystic Snake. I don't think Mystic Snake's going to get much traction in the lane. Up against the puck, he can always disjoint that, so I don't know. Personally, I would have thought that Aloha Dance could get away with just going stats, but I don't know. To each his own.
Yeah, it's always nice to have the snake and not need it than to need the snake and not have it. Sunlight and Chomi can be messing with Slash Strike. There is a puck in the area, but they're just going to secure runes. Just the dance of the runes, and Tidehunter takes his as well. So AlbumSheet, they're just going to be sitting back for pretty much as long as they possibly can. The Death Prophet's getting her levels up. She's level 8 right now, so one more level and Witchcraft should be maxed out. I think Chomi is going to be wanting to go for that just to apply some pressure back onto House of Gamers. And if he does, then I see this mid lane tower falling pretty swiftly. Slash Strike, he could put out some pretty decent damage if he gets close to someone, but I don't think you want to get close to a Death Prophet once she has Exorcism up. Doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah, definitely not. This game has been without very many rotations until up now. The top puck has been killed off. Ravage was spent for that, and they're able to combo him down with just the 2 stuns between the Fire Blast as well as the Ravage.
Yeah, that was Tidehunter coming from behind and using Ravage from the tree line. So even, well, it's pretty hard to dodge that. It's possible, but it's damn difficult for the puck. So using Ravage for a kill at this point in the game is 100% worth it. Afterlife is going to get glimpsed right back. They need a fissure. Where is the fissure? There it is. Now the Impale. But this is a Tidehunter we're talking about, and they're all grouping up for an Anchor Smash. Here comes the puck. That might do it. Afterlife is going to be beaten down by Slash Strike. That's going to be a kill for the Earthshaker. Even through that Anchor Smash, Tidehunter, only level 6, just used Ravage. So if he was packing Ravage, I'm sure he would have escaped, but unfortunately that is just not to be. But it's, at any rate, a kill for House Gamers, although a very expensive one. They are forced to rotate pretty much everyone into that lane.
Yeah, in the meantime, Death Prophet is kind of made her way down towards bottom. She has the drums completed, flying out to her on the courier. Necrophos has been left alone with this tier 1 tower, and it's dropping incredibly low. Afterlife looking for the deny here. Let's see who's going to get the last hit. It is going to be given to the Radiant, but now with the gush into Malum, they're rotating in the Ogre Magi. He's pretty slow, but he might be able to get in range for the Fire Blast. Ignite to slow him down. And now Malum's in a bit of a pickle, completely tapped out of mana. No more Death Pulses for you. Fire Blast comes out. Afterlife's not getting in front of him, however, a secondary gush will come out as well as an Anchor Smash, still chasing him down to the tower. And Malum might survive, salving up. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, even got a point booster delivered to him mid-fight, so getting an additional bit of HP, certainly very useful. I don't know if that made the difference. Really, level 5 Ogre Magi, level 6 Tidehunter are going to struggle to deal with the Necrophos, as without multicast, the Ogre Magi won't be doing that much damage, especially when Necrophos is 100% geared up for tankiness in power tread, strength,
cool top.
and the point booster. Top, they're going to initiate with the coil, I think, onto the Enigma. I think he snapped it. Aloha Dance, running low on mana, is going to feel fine staying here, but she probably shouldn't because there are more heroes coming in. Nyx Assassin, does he have Vendetta? He still doesn't. They're smoked up. They're going to catch Aloha Dance. Way too greedy on the Medusa. She's going to get glimpsed all the way back, so the kinetic field was completely whiffed, but that's fine because they get the kill anyway. Medusa, way too greedy. Like, sitting at that amount of HP at any point in the game is pretty bad.
Okay, so how that broke down is the Enigma was looking for wraparound on the puck going through the trees over here, and then the puck just decided to coil him and then killed him very easily, getting some splash damage off on the Medusa as well, and then Medusa sticks around, and then it's a very easy pickoff for House of Gamers, which is important for them. This Medusa up until now has been untouched. Aquila Ring of Health, Power Treads Midas at 11 minutes in is pretty much all you could ask for, but this is not only her losing gold, but also some farming time that she's not available to have. Down in bottom, Necrophos is being stalked again by the Enigma as well as the Tidehunter. This time they have a black hole.
don't know if that's really going to make the difference. The biggest pickup right now is the Earthshaker with his Blink Dagger. A Blink into an Enchant Totem is absolutely devastating, and well, showing off Blink just to get a Fissure off that's level 1, probably not the best way to show off your Blink, but either way, Slash Strike will be able to put out some serious damage. Both physical with the Enchant Totem and magical if he lands a nice Echo Slam. So Slash Strike is going to be one of the more dangerous heroes moving forward. And for the most part, I think Earthshaker has gotten over the hump of a core Earthshaker in that his laning sucks. Chomi is going to run into both Malum and Slash Strike. I don't know if they could do this. They have a Scythe, although they're silenced, so Malum can't quite get it off. Chomi's going to try to turn around for this one. A little bit greedy from the Death Prophet. He's got to watch out for this Earthshaker's physical and his Blink Dagger. They do have Sunlight in the wings. Going to land a Malphus on Slash Strike. Dropping pretty low with the Black Hole as well. I think Slash Strike is going to be going down here before he can do anything. Yes, he will. In the meantime, top lane, they're setting up for a dive onto Aloha Dance. Blink forward for a silence and a coil onto the Medusa. Can she get Stone Gaze off? He will. And Faith in Strangers looking for an Impale, but can't quite land it. Now frozen in tower range with the Vendetta. Really wants to land that hit, but Aloha Dance just running in circles, literally around Faith in Strangers. Now Chomi's going to come in, gets impaled immediately, but Aloha Dance is still alive. Now going to turn around for a moment. Will not get that kill. This is the Enigma who's going to end up cleaning up the Nyx Assassin in the meantime. And No Fear is in the area as well, though he can't get a Fire Blast onto anyone else. I believe the Chomi got glimpsed right back to the middle lane, which is disruptor value right there, but No Fear still looking for this puck, is going to now know where he is, but do they have enough damage to actually kill him off? No multicast on anything. They're going to Malphus stun that puck, but the silence is going to slow him down. Here comes Afterlife, but a nice Echo Slam from Slash Strike, and then a two-man fissure. Ravage is going to come out, not in time to save the Enigma. Afterlife will clean up the puck, but now he's in a little bit of danger potentially. Slash Strike should have another Blink and Enchant Totem, and it will land Afterlife. Boom! Then goes the Dynamite. There goes the Tidehunter, and House of Gamers take a pretty nice fight up on top lane. One more hero's coming. It's going to be Aloha Dance once again. With the Mana Shield up and the residual Fountain regen, she will be fine right now, but House of Gamers getting a really nice series of fights.
Yeah. Once those Blink Daggers came out for the puck as well as the Earthshaker, that's been the switch for House of Gamers, and they've been able to find a lot of kills for it. They're hunting for the Medusa, not going to find him. Enigma probably needs to cancel out TP. He's going to get Static Storm, Kinetic Field on top of his face, and with an Impale, as well as the Enchant Totem hit. That was not a place that Enigma could be comfortable coming into. I think he had vision of that Disruptor.
Yeah, I mean, he must have just not had vision. That's the only reason he would continue the TP there. So either way, it's going to be 9-5 now in favor of House of Gamers. And yeah, as you said, Blink Daggers on the Earthshaker, on the puck, and I'm sure Nyx Assassin, if he had the money, he would be going for a Blink Dagger as well. They're just getting every single kill they could possibly want. They are running against the clock. However, the clock is not even close to being time up for House of Gamers. The Medusa's still farming away, and if House of Gamers keep fighting like this, then they're going to be golden to just start taking more and more towers, and then eventually try to look to the high ground. But for right now, they have to be playing this pretty consistently aggressively, as if they let up for a little bit of time, Aloha Dance suddenly has a Lincoln Sphere, and then it's just so much more difficult to kill out the Dusa.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Puck and the Nyx Assassin are in the vicinity of the Medusa, but they're not going to go for this, or at least I don't think so. SLHC is chilling around. The Earthshaker in mid with a double damage rune is going to be a force to be reckoned with if they decide to jump into him. They throw Crypt Storm his way, but doesn't land into Slash Strike. So for now, nothing's actually going to break out, but that's going to change up in top with the Vendetta onto Aloha Dance. He walked up a little too close. Now he's going to be Dream Quilled as well as the Loser Orb to the face. Completely out of mana. The right clicks are going to do him in.
Yeah, the Medusa has to be so much more careful about how she farms right now, as previously she was fine because the enemies did not have any ways of getting on top of her, with the exception of Vendetta, which at that point wasn't even online. Now there are just so many ways for them to do it. Malum is getting chased down by Chomi. He can't use his Yule Scepter, else Malum just straight TPs unless Afterlife is here. And he's going to get the silence, and maybe they have enough damage, but Chomi just really needed to pop his Exorcism and then chase after the Necrophos. That would have been a kill, but using the Yule Scepter ended up getting the Necrophos a free pass out. So it's going to be a wasted opportunity for AlbumSheet, and really they need all the kills they can get right now. They just need to buy more space for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. We also have the Aghanim Scepter now completed on the Necrophos, which means no buybacks for you, as well as a whole lot of damage coming out from that Scythe. And at this point in the game, the magic nukes coming out from House of Gamers are pretty much going to be able to 100-0 anybody on the side of AlbumSheet, regardless of who they catch. Maybe Aloha Dance is going to survive if he has a full mana pool during that and a Lincoln Sphere, but before then, Aloha Dance needs to be so careful. Currently, it's a gang train coming out from House of Gamers. 4 heroes, or rather 3 heroes smoked up. Earthshaker inside the lane. It looks like they're going to bump into an unsuspecting Enigma as well as Tidehunter. Kinetic Field Stag Storm doesn't actually latch. They glimpse Tidehunter back a little too far. They're going to get the Vendetta hit. Impale hasn't been thrown out yet. The Ravage going to land onto pretty much everybody, obliterating the Disruptors. He gets multi-gasted down. Impale on No Fear as well as the Scythe is going to secure the end of the Ogre's life, but now Faith in Strangers is going to fall. Medusa now joining the fray. Can't do very much damage. The Earthshaker sold up by the Death Prophet in mid. Gush and Malum, they're chasing him down. They should be able to get this kill. Even though he is fairly tanky, they will not care. And House of Gamers, a crucial mistake coming out from the Disruptor, not getting that kinetic field down on the ground fast enough. I'm not sure if they could have gotten those kills anyway, but hopefully for them it would have stopped the Tidehunter Ravage. They needed the Earthshaker there.
Yeah, the Earthshaker was off in the back line messing with a Death Prophet, probably not where you want to be. And the Disruptor plays, or lack thereof, costed House of Gamers that fight. If they landed a Static Storm on top of the Earthshaker within a kinetic, on the Tidehunter rather, with the kinetic field, it would have been pretty much an easy smash and grab. Like, they would have came in, cleared out the Tidehunter, probably gotten the Enigma as well, but ended up missing pretty much everything, glimpsed the Tidehunter back into a better position, in fact, and just everything went wrong right there for the Disruptor. And really, if you're going to be picking up this hero, you can't afford to be making those types of mistakes. It is very hard, of course, to land a random Static Storm kinetic field, but man, if you have to land those, especially against the likes of AlbumSheet with an Enigma and Tide. If you're not landing those skills, you're just giving away so many opportunities for them to turn things around with a Ravage and Black Hole.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be AlbumSheet finding a little bit more in this game. Aloha Dance is not going to fully commit to the Lincoln Sphere. In fact, building a Yasha now, it might not be a Lincoln Sphere after all for him. Maybe just a casual Ring of Health for the laning stage. He might consider building it later up against a Necrophos, which is really one of the biggest ways that they have to pop that, as well as the Disruptor Glimpse. Neither of those spells do they really want to land onto Aloha Dance. Currently, Earthshaker Echo Slam in mid as well as Enchant Totem, but it's just not enough damage. The Mana Shield coming out from the Medusa is...
Hello? No. Not again.
Okay, Chomi is going to be fissured up, and they will be able to get the Death Prophet off on the sidelines. I'm not sure I was looking where you were looking.
Yeah, you cut out there, so...
Oh.
Yeah. You came back at the end.
Okay, good. I didn't know what that oh no was about.
Alright, no. That was just technical issues once again, but no fear. He's gonna get fissured up, and I think this orb might kill him. No, it won't, but a Scythe will. Alright, so that's going to be House of Gamers taking a decent enough fight. And hopefully, I don't know what that was either. Like, you just stopped talking. Skype seemed to be fine. OBS was fine. Everything was fine, but you just weren't talking, so we're good now.
Okay, well, hopefully that sorts itself out. We really need to figure what's actually going on. If it was, like, something that I knew that I could fix, it would be a lot easier. Currently, Medusa being stalked out by the Earthshaker. No Echo Slam available for a minute. And with no backup, it's unlikely that Slash Strike is able to kill off Aloha Dance. We saw how that went in mid. Slash Strike could have gotten a little bit more damage by prepping a Enchant Totem before jumping in, but he's completely spotted out now, so he actually can't do anything.
And also, previously in mid, he jumped in for an Echo Slam, which did land an Aftershock right on the edge, but it was pretty much just a one-man, zero creep, zero anyone else Echo Slam, and those are actually pretty bad. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a moment, he's going to get jumped upon. He will TP out, living at 8 HP. Chomi, using this Yule Scepter to initiate, is always getting the bottom end of that deal. I mean, he could very easily just run down a Disruptor and just use the movement speed just in and of itself with the Gush in order to get these kills, but Yule Scepter is pretty much confirming to House of Gamers that, hey, you can escape now if you really wanted to.
Yeah. At the very least, for AlbumSheet, it's going to be a tier 1 tower going their way, delayed by the Glyph. They'll be able to take this as soon as that Glyph expires. They'll need 100 HP. It's going to be Enigma to secure that last hit, but in the meantime, up in top, it's... House of Gamers pushing down this tier 2 tower. They're going to find the sidelines. Poor No Fear, who's blown up very quickly. No ultimates needing to be expended for that one. And now the tier 2 tower isn't looking too healthy at all. Afterlife's on the sidelines with the Blink Dagger Ravage available, but there's just not a clean opening. Let's see how this is going to break down. Jump in, Ravage. It's only going to be on SLHD, and this might be enough to get off the puck, and indeed it will, as puck is silenced up. So that's going to stop the push coming out from HOG. But then again, it's not the worst thing in the world for them to have happen. Aloha Dance in mid is being stalked by an assassin. Disruptor's also on the sidelines. A moment, gonna catch him out in kinetic field. Doesn't have the static storm, and Medusa Stone Gaze is gonna delay this long-range impale from the assassin before he gets stoned. They need a little bit more backup, and they're not going to find it with the Exorcism as well as a Gush. They'll bring down the Nyx Assassin very quickly, and the attempted gank on the Medusa is going to be foiled. I don't know, just by not having enough backup. Dual Scepter onto Malum as well as a Crypt Swarm. It's not going to be enough damage immediately, but now with the Gush, they might be able to give him the rundown. It looks like they will. Malum's going to Crypt Swarm again. One more auto attack is going to secure a double for Chomi. Currently 3 down on the HOG side.
And the Gush combination with Exorcism is really brutal. Like, the Nyx Assassin died in, I think, less than a second once the Death Prophet actually got her hands on him, and I don't really know what he was doing there in the first place. Like, yeah, landing an Impale on Medusa is nice and everything, but when you're all alone like that, it's not actually going to do anything. They're going to chase down the Puck now. Crypt Swarm and Silence. They might have enough damage with the Anchor Smash. Yes, they will barely be able to kill off the Puck. Also, Faith in Stranger is going to get lifted up into the air. No Fear has a Fire Blast, and it will land. Not Spike Carapace. Slash Strike with a nice Echo Slam that was going to bail out the Nyx Assassin for a little more time, but he can't quite get the kill. He will get a kill on the Enigma. Gem on the floor will be snagged by the Tidehunter. Here comes a moment. Has a Static Storm, which will land on absolutely 0 people. No Fear, though, is going to try to get this Disruptor, but gets annihilated by the Shaker. The rest of AlbumSheet just bailing out. No mana on either of these two surviving heroes, and that is going to prompt their retreat. So it's unfortunately the mana problems that screw them over in the end. Aloha Dance being chased down by Malum in the meantime, but creeps are going to not help out at all. In fact, probably hurt Aloha Dance more than it's helping. Heartstopper Aura will not kill off this hero, and although a blink forward, Malum looking for a Scythe. This will not be lethal yet, and then Yule Scepter won't be lethal maybe at all as Chomi does come in. Malum not taking too much damage as Exorcism is not available. Medusa can't afford to turn around. Puck is going to blink in for a Silence. Coil is going to be dropped onto Chomi. He'll pop the BKB and then just get the hell out of there. That's a 10-second, I believe. Yes, it was. But at any rate, it is Aloha Dance still surviving, and that was potentially pretty dangerous for the Medusa.
Yeah, definitely. I think that could have killed off the Medusa if he just got off one more Death Pulse, which Malum would have had cooling down. I don't know, there just wasn't a good opening because the DP was there. So, Medusa is going to thank her lucky stars that she had some backup. Currently, Medusa is working towards a Manta style because she has that hand of Midas. She's constantly able to get this farm, even though she's been picked off a couple of times. So, Aloha Dance is looking pretty solid in the farm department, although nothing too significant to help her fight immediately. Come 30-35 minutes, she'll have 2 major items complete. And a Medusa with 2 major items is incredibly scary.
Yeah, that's assuming she doesn't get Scythed or Static Stormed or her completely focused down by an Earthshaker with Enchant Totem. Stuff like that can make the Medusa's items kind of useless, as they will just kill her so quickly. But if that doesn't happen, then she will just be very safely firing on the back line, and nothing that House of Gamers really has is going to be enough to stop her. They're going to go for Roshan. Might be at an expense of their tier 2 tower up on top lane, as Malum looks like he will be getting that one, but this Roshan is dropping very quickly. Puck is going to jump himself in potentially. No, not going to play the greedy play. He's going to not get the Aegis, although there is an assassin in the area. Maybe they're going to lose another hero, someone. It's going to be Aegis for Medusa, and then the rest of the heroes just backing up. It's going to be actually just a free Aegis as they jump in for a Ravage, landing onto Slash Strike with the follow-up stuns as well. Kinetic Field and Storm is going to slow him down, and Shaker looks like he will survive. That was a Ravage expense for absolutely nothing, although a multicast onto the Puck, that's going to get them a kill in the end, so hey, at least they get something. Now Yule Scepter onto the Nyx Assassin. There is a Fissure, which will hit onto Chomi and No Fear, slow them down quite a bit, but a Gush is going to fly through. Kinetic Field this time won't save the Nyx, and Death Prophet will get that kill. Looks like Death Prophet actually canceled her TP up on the top lane. That's actually going to benefit AlbumSheet quite a bit. Now they're going to look for a tower. Not the most pushing without Exorcism, but I think they have more than enough to take this.
Yeah, definitely. And Necrophos, although he does secure that tier 2 tower, can't go for any more, and his team needs him back ASAP. They have an Echo Slam, so they need to be careful. Currently, there's an opening for a 3-man Echo Slam plus the creep wave, but there's just not an Earthshaker close enough. Slash Strike's back in the base.
Yeah, he really needs to come onto the front lines right now, because AlbumSheet, they're not stopping as long as they have these Eidolons up. Even Aloha Dance with the Aegis is more than happy to sit on the front lines, put himself in danger of getting hit with the Echo Slam, but not in any danger of actually dying to it. So it's a little bit of free damage here and there for AlbumSheet as they take a Roshan and then a whole bunch of kills thereafter. They still have a lot of tier 2s to work with, even a tier 1 up on top lane, which is actually deniable right now. So it's a lot more gold that AlbumSheet can be picking up that, quite frankly, they don't have to use Exorcism for, especially the top lane tower, but If they want to use Exorcism for it, that's fine, because every single tower they take is just more gold into the Medusa's pocket. Now at 1900, has finished up the Lincoln Sphere after the Yasha, so jumping around quite a bit with her itemization, but she has a Hand of Midas. She's getting a lot of gold. She can't afford to, build a couple of items here and there.
Yeah, and it's a fairly fast farming build, just getting a casual Yasha to move around the map, doing that extra bit of damage, and Medusa's farming up a Storm, and it doesn't deviate away from your 6-slotted build at all, so Aloha Dance is going to be just fine. 26 minutes, and this is really good farm for Medusa, and it's going to continue to be that way. But, however, over in the sidelines, Shomi, he's going to get ulted by pretty much everything, and poor Death Prophet didn't stand a chance.
She ran forward and took the tier 1 tower, backdoored right next to a moment, and then tried to get the Disruptor kill without Exorcism. Even popped a BKB for it, but the Disruptor just juking into the trees a little bit better than the Death Prophet could keep up with, and that resulted in her death. They used the Scythe, which is going to mean that they don't have a Scythe for Aloha Dance right now, but is that even necessary? She has Stone Gaze. They will land an Echo Slam, but it will be completely absorbed by the pipe. Now Slash Strike in quite a bit of trouble as Medusa Stone Gaze going to work into him. Black Hole's going to connect onto the Earthshaker. I think the puck might be hit as well. Yes, he will, just on the edge. Ravage will be committed, will secure the kill on the puck, also set up a kill on Faith in Strangers. He will land a nice Impale, will try to TP out, needs a little more damage. They will get him. It's a double kill for Afterlife. All of that in exchange for Death Prophet and AlbumSheet. I didn't expect them to take that great a fight, but they still have an Aegis on Medusa. That fight went so very well for them.
Yeah, in the next 2 minutes, that Aegis is still going to be available, so Aloha Dance is going to be all too happy to spend this to get a tier 2 tower up in the top lane, now sitting on a cool 3,600 gold. Could be going towards her completed Mantis stuff. She wants to ship that out to herself, or if she wants to go for something a little bit bigger, maybe just some ultimate orbs towards the Scotty, Butterfly, anything of that sort. Right now, it's just going to be that tower push, and with only the Disruptor as well as Necrophos alive, it's unlikely that House of Gamers are going to decide to push into this, even though the Ravage and Black Hole are down.
They need everyone up and alive right now, and that really isn't the case. They might be able to defend, although they don't have an Echo Slam. That will be a little bit sketchy. They're going to chase forward for a moment, not the hero that they really want to fully engage for. Now 2-man Fissure and a 2-man Impale. It's going to annihilate the Enigma. Scythe onto the Ogre. That's going to be 2 down immediately. Afterlife still doesn't have that Ravage, but Aloha Dance is sitting in the back end, just firing away at everyone, but he's not doing enough damage. They need a Death Prophet here, and she's making a beeline, but I don't think she's going to get here fast enough. Slash Strike will almost finish off Afterlife, although Kraken Shell will keep him safe for now. Here comes Chomi. Has an Exorcism, doesn't really want to use it right now, but he will engage, and now on the puck and the Earthshaker both can take a fall. Malum short to fall after. That's going to be a 3 for 3, and with Chomi's, the rest of his Exorcism, he's also going to catch the Disruptor with the Yule Scepter. I think the Disruptor this time is going to have no juke paths out. Chomi with the BKB, a little bit too late to block a nice mana burn, but it's going to give him an ultra kill regardless. Still tanking a tower. He's dropping very low. Malum looking for a little bit more damage. He might get this with his final skull. It will be a kill for the Necrophos. Aloha Dance will survive, still has the Aegis, was completely ignored in that last fight, and will make her retreat. Either way, it's AlbumSheet. They started off the pretty poor fight, although Aloha Dance is actually going to keep on fighting. Fissure, or Impale rather, this time is going to miss Malum, taking quite a bit of damage, but Aloha Dance dropping very low, if not by nothing else, just the Heartstopper aura. And he's going to try to play some games with the Nyx, and is just wanting to use the Aegis right now, so even if she dies, she doesn't really care. Faith in Strangers. He needs the Necrophos here, but there is an Ogre Magi coming, so this could be potentially dangerous for the Nyx Assassin if he wants to go in. Regen from the Medusa because of the Aegis timeout. Now Faith in Strangers, he's no longer invisible. Although Aloha Dance is completely fine with it. They're going to Fire Blast Faith in Strangers. Now turn around with the Snake. Here comes Malum with the Death Pulse. Here comes the Puck as well with the Coil. Medusa very tanky. Can she survive all of this? With Static Storm, she most certainly can. Will get the kill on the Nyx Assassin before she goes down. Now is going to fight to the death, but will get Scythe. That's 109 seconds on the sidelines. No fear. Will try to escape these heroes. I don't know if he'll be able to with all these blinks. He's going to actually make it out to the safety of the rest of his team that have respawned and are coming right back in. I think that should be the end of it. But House of Gamers, they kill off the Medusa and the Death Prophet. It's a pretty nice win in that department.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, both teams are going to be chilling. Medusa does have double ultimate orbs, as well as the completed Scotty now on the courier. She has done away with that Aegis, so she now has a slot to hold on to that. Currently, Medusa's item build is kind of catching up to her as far as all of the casual items she has, the Yasha as well as the Midas and Aquila. Eventually, she's going to have to ship away those into something a little bit more major. But for now, House of Gamers are going to be happy with their pickoffs, but still, they don't have anything to really combat up against this Medusa. As far as the impact of the items that they have, eventually, their combos are going to fall off. They're still incredibly scary. There's a puck that's throwing Loser Orb up top, but that actually doesn't do anything.
Chomi's going to slip away from everyone up on top lane. Will be just fine, although has used the BKB charges, I want to say almost purely defensively. Maybe one or two have been used for offensive purposes, but for the most part, it's just Death Prophet putting herself in danger and then having to use BKB to get the hell out. They're going to set up for Afterlife in the mid lane. Blink, Fissure will land. They don't have enough unless they actually want to use the coil, and they will. Now he's stuck in the Static Storm. Can get a Ravage out if he gets out of the storm, but he's going to run right on the edge of the storm, so he literally did nothing there except for running in a circle. No Fear is going to get glimpsed right back into everyone else. He's going to try to hide, but there's a puck there, so you can't actually hide in that corner, Ogre. That's going to be a nice 2-kill for House of Gamers. Maybe Tidehunter could have turned things around if he got out of the Static Storm and Ravaged with Death Prophet coming in, but dropping without using that ultimate really costed them, and now they're going to lose a tier 2 tower.
Yeah. Right now, there's not much that they can do to defend against this. Medusa's back up, has completed Scotty, but everybody else is in position. Sunlight's currently pushing down bottom with some Eidolons. Death Prophet's behind the Medusa, but these two can't contest against the full 5-man force of House of Gamers. Disruptor's going TP back. They're going to throw Eul Scepter into the Puck, but the silence is phase shifted out, so Puck should be able to get out if you're alive, and we'll be able to blink to safety.
Enigma going to try to fight with the moment, and Slash Strike will black hole to both of them. Is there enough damage here to kill off the Disruptor? I don't think there is. Slash Strike now with the Enchantomes is going to go strong versus the Enigma. Needs some more help. The Impale is going to miss, but it doesn't matter because Slash Strike is just doing so much damage with those enchants that Enigma ends up using his black hole in kind of a greedy way, kind of a panicking way, but either way it's going to lead to his death. The rest of the Album Sheet heroes, Death Prophet and Ogre Magi, trying to move in now, but I don't really think there's much that they could do. Maybe if they catch House of Gamers all in their pace, they'll be able to sneak a tower with Exorcism, but that seems pretty bold. It's Album Sheet actually losing a couple heroes here and there. I mean, they're getting okay trades for them. It's not absolutely disastrous, but really they need to be tightening up these screws because they're losing heroes at a pretty consistent rate, and Medusa just needs more farm space right now. So not losing heroes, not getting kills either should be the plan for Album Sheet, but right now they're just struggling to do really anything as they're getting outmaneuvered right now by House of Gamers and their Blink Daggers.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Medusa's getting very close to her next complete item, if it is the Mantis style. Currently, it is House of Gamers to make the move up towards top. However, they're drawing on the map, and I expect them to group up for a smoke and look to put an end to Aloha Dance's farming here. The Bloodlust is starting to come online for the Ogre Jai, currently 4 points up into that to allow Aloha Dance to attack incredibly fast and is doing quite a lot of damage inside the team fights as long as she's not controlled. Let's see. No smoke has been spent yet by House of Gamers, but they are clumped up and are looking for it. And, well, the hero that they might find, or that they'd like to find is Medusa, but she's currently mid, nowhere close.
And the rest of the team is going to be waiting near the Roshan pit another minute-ish before that guy comes back online. So it's going to be a lot of wasted time for Album Sheet if they really just want to sit there and wait. Probably not the best way to spend their time as they have to defend a top lane push. I don't know if House of Gamers are strong enough to just straight push into a Ravage, into an Exorcism, and a Stone Gaze. It seems a little bit bold from them. Right now they're just trying to force Album Sheet back. Album Sheet might just want to call this bluff though. I think even if they do have to go through this tier 2 tower, they will probably push a little bit faster than House of Gamers and come out in a full-on base race if it does come to that. Enigma will use the BKB for something. I don't actually know why. Maybe... yeah, I have no idea, but BKB down, I guess it's a nice little win for House of Gamers, but they lose a tier 2 tower for free.
Yep, Blink Dagger now on the Enigma unfortunately doesn't have that Black King bar, but it will be cooling down at about the same time as the Black Hole, so I'm not sure that BKB usage means much. It is a second down on the BKB, but as long as you have 5 seconds, that's usually enough to get a full duration Black Hole off, which is usually why you get the item on Enigma. So I don't think it matters that misclick usage of BKB. I'm not exactly sure why. Currently, it's just going to be both teams almost tied in the map control department. Tier 2 tower down in bottom, still standing for Album Sheet, but not significantly. In mid, there's going to be blinks away to keep everybody safe. Nothing's going to happen.
Well, Medusa's still farming away, and this is actually a pretty large concern for House of Gamers. The only way they have of dealing with this Medusa is the Scythe, which is now level 3. Aghanim Scepter Ultimate has been up for quite a long time, but I don't know if you could just 100% depend on that in order to answer the Medusa, as she will be able to do quite a bit of damage, and also Chomi will be doing the exact same thing as the Death Prophet. So House of Gamers really need to split their focus now between these two powerful heroes, and they will soon have a double life. Puck Orb is going to be occasionally flying through, and they could make a jump in feasibly, although No Fear is running interference. It will be a Roshan and Aegis now claimed by the Medusa. They're going to try to chase forward for Slash Strike. That Static Storm will do literally nothing. And, well, actually, maybe Slash Strike's Fissure will save himself. No, the Blink from Afterlife will kill off the Shaker. And House of Gamers, they're going to try to split push to buy themselves a little bit more space. They won't get any objectives. And Malum, well, he's going to blink away. Looks like everyone will survive, with the exception of the Shaker, but they still give up Aegis to Aloha Dance.
Yep, and also that Static Storm, although it's not the longest of cooldowns, could have been used a little bit better, although they do hold on to all of their other large ultimates, so I don't think it's going to matter that much, and it'll be back up in 50 seconds. But House of Gamers, this game is very uncomfortable for them. Their combos are starting to be less effective at killing off the likes of Medusa. Currently, with an almost completed Butterfly on Aloha Dance, at this point, he might be getting rid of the Midas, or he could just drop the Midas on the Courier and swap it back and forth as soon as the Aegis expires. It's currently a Nyx Assassin finding the Death Prophet with the coil, and now they're going to be forced off the BKB. The damage from the Reaper Sight's going to do literally nothing. TP away from Death Prophet is cancelled by that one, so there's actually nothing else that they need to do. Chummy's going to run away safely.
So one of the highest damaging tools on House of Gamers is actually the mana burn. Like, it did 500 something mana burn to the Death Prophet, and, you know, she doesn't need the most mana in the world. As long as she has enough for Exorcism, a couple more Crypt Swarms to follow that up, she'll be fine, but still, that does a hell of a lot of damage. So that Nyx Assassin is going to have to focus his mana burns properly. It does the most damage onto the Death Prophet, but of course you kind of want to use it on the Medusa, so I don't know who you actually commit on, and really he doesn't survive for long enough to get more than 2, I would say, mana burns off in a fight, so he's going to have to pick his targets very carefully. Regardless, AlbumSheet, they're once again going to slip away with their Death Prophet, now down to a minimum 5-second BKB on the hero. It's going to be Sunlight to get chased down by the Nyx Assassin, and there's a Vendetta hit. No Impale just yet, and Impale will actually miss. This Nyx Assassin has been not too accurate with those skills, and you have to be. Nigma's going to blink forward and try to make something happen. We'll get thrown up into the air. The rest of the team following from the south, although I don't really know if they can catch up. Chomi's going to get body blocked, and yeah, they can't keep chasing for this one. But either way, it's AlbumSheet's base that is still being preserved, and every single time that happens, Medusa is going to get another big item. This time it's going to be Butterfly. Next time it should be Manta Style.
Yeah. I don't know, at this point, Manta Style, yeah, I think it's still a worthy cause for her, especially if she can Manta dodge anything, really.
Okay. Hello?
What? Oh dear. Not again.
Oh no, this time it's Skype internet issues.
Okay, so...
We're good,
man,
I think.
We're good. Hopefully we're good.
This time it's not audio issue, guys. This time it's internet issues. We're running everything here.
Absolutely. Okay, so hopefully everybody can hear me, and yeah, I kind of just lost my train of thought there after being cut off by Skype.
I'm sure you'll find it again, because you're going to have a little bit of time, because we're going to have a team fight up on top lane. Slash Strike Fissure going to slow down the creep wave, actually wall off Chomi perfectly, although the Exorcism Spirits will keep firing on that tower. Aloha Dance onto the high ground with the Butterfly is now doing a lot of damage versus pretty much everyone. Is going to get her Lincoln Sphere pop. Slash Strike looking for an opening in. Will Echo Slam only onto Chomi, though. They will be able to bring down this Death Prophet with a Scythe, but now Black Hole onto 3 heroes. The Aloha Dance on the sidelines firing onto everyone is going to lead to 2 down. Puck is going to buy back instantly. Malum, the BKB, is going to block a Ravage, but a Moment and Slow is not going to be as lucky. They're going to kill off the Puck and the Disruptor both. Instantly, the Puck is going to actually... He's still alive, so Puck is going to survive for a little while longer with a Fissure. Might be able to live. No, he will die. Earthshaker's still available, as well as the Necrophos, but what could they do about this Medusa? Just the 2 of them. They might be able to kill her once if they're very, very lucky, but she still has an Aegis. AlbumSheet have taken the first set of Raxes, and honestly, they could go for 1, maybe even 2 more with so much downtime on the rest of the House of Gamers heroes.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, the Puck's completely out of this fight. Even though they lose the Death Prophet, no ability to buy back. This is, at the very least, 2 racks, and now they find themselves a Malum. This might just be over. The Necrophos does have buyback. He's down for 100 seconds if he doesn't spend it, and he kind of needs to at this point. They could probably swing down towards bottom and just put a ring on it at this point. Even without their ultimates, House of Gamers just don't have enough to fight into this. This Medusa still has an Aegis, and now a Divine Rapier is sending out to herself on the Courier.
Oh, Dr. Aegis is in. Aloha Dance doesn't not need to be buying this item, is just buying it because she knows that she already won. I don't know if that's exactly the case, as there's always a threat of Scythe, and Ogre Magi and the Enigma are both going to get picked off, but here comes Aloha Dance, the Slash Strike. He's not too durable versus the Divine Rapier, especially with that minus armor from Gush. Aloha Dance is going to walk down the Shaker, now going to look for more, is going to catch a moment with an Eye of Scotty hit. That's going to be 2 kills for Aloha Dance, sitting in the Static Storm, just chilling. Going to be doing so much damage. Oh my god. Malum, no. Oh, now he got hit with the Frost, although Aloha Dance could get Scythed right now. That might kill her off. No, I don't really think it will with the Mana Shield, but she's going to turn around and, well, 2-shot Nyx Assassin. That's pretty nice. There's still a Necrophos with the Scythe, and Aloha Dance does have, like, the ultimate potentially throw item, but I think it's too late. With 2 Raktas up, even if they give up a Divine Rapier, I don't see House of Gamers coming back from this one.
Right now, Malum's looking for the Scythe, drops on Aloha Dance, does actually nothing with Mana Shield. That's a ridiculous spell. 2 gems are casually on the deck. It's a rampage for Aloha Dance. Can't really ask for much more, and that's going to secure game 1 of the best of 2 series.
And it was certainly a very close one. I don't know, I think maybe the laning choices of House of Gamers ended up costing them, although it worked out pretty well. I just feel like they ran out of steam. Like, they had to break high ground with their lineup, else they would have just outright lost, and that's exactly what happens. They didn't break high ground, and then they just outright lost. AlbumSheet are going to take game 1 in this best of 2, guys, but since there is a best of 2 on our hands, we are going to be moving on to game number 2 very shortly, and hopefully there will be no issues. Knock on wood.